Welcome, everyone. This is Araceli, Transition Wealth Advisor and Real Estate Investing Coach in Canada and the US. My specialty is the US. So if you like to do something there, if you're in Canada or if you're in the US, doesn't matter. I'm here to help. And my chat with Colette today. Colette, can you introduce yourself and tell me what we're talking about?
Of course. Hi, everybody. My name is Colette Rabba. See my little sign behind me. I'm a real estate broker in the GTA, and Araceli and I, as you probably know, love to talk about real estate. So here we are once again, and we want to share a term that is a little bit different from the US and Canada, but basically means the same thing. And we can talk about this term because we are talking to you, investor or possible investor, or if you just want to know more about investing, we're here for you. And like Araceli said, please continue asking us the questions, like, subscribe, send us whatever messages, questions you have about real estate, not questions about other crazy stuff, but let's keep it to real estate and investing. So today we are going to talk about microflipping. There's also a couple different terms that are interchangeable depending on where you live.
Yes.
So
we have, if you find a term microflipping, or you can also call wholesaling, also it's called assignment. So all of these things, they mean exactly the same thing. So we're just going to tell you a little bit about the most common term that you will find there. It's wholesaling.
I think in Canada, you don't hear it very often.
No, well, because wholesaling is really, it's very difficult to do here, at least here in Ontario.
Well, yes and no, but I honestly want to say wholesaling is not a term that Canadians are, personally speaking, are really familiar with. I think it's coming into more popularity. But how we know in the real estate world of investing in Canada or in Ontario, we call it assignment. So if you go ahead and explain what it is, like what is a wholesale?
Yeah, I'm going to explain basically what it is, wholesaling. So anytime that you use any of these terms, it basically means exactly the same thing. And what it is basically you're finding a property that is undervalued. So let's say the fair market value of a property is 500,000. But for whatever reason, the seller wants to do it right away and is willing to sell it for 400,000. Because that's what he needs. He's running out of the country. I don't know. There's something that is happening in their lives that is making them choose that. It's not only that, it could be divorce, it could be illness. There's many, many reasons for that, but we're not here to talk about that. If your seller is willing to give it to you for 400, even that property is worth 500,000, but you don't want to take it on because for whatever reason. So what you can do is find another investor that is willing to take on the property, fix it probably, and resell it at 500,000. You can tack in like $10,000, $20,000, and now you can assign it for $20,000. So you bought it at 400, you sell it to the new investor for 420, therefore you make 20,000. So that's basically how it works.
So I'll give you a really, really good example of what we do in Ontario, and that is it's actually an assignment clause that you put into an agreement of purchase and sale when you buy the property. So how this, and it's perfectly legal. You have to make sure all your paperwork is correct, and you have to have in Ontario you have to use a real estate lawyer for any transaction.
Yeah.
So whether it's an assignment or just a straight on purchase and sale, lawyers have to get involved. So the paperwork has to be perfect. Also, again, Araceli and I, this is just for education purposes. Please do your research. This is also our opinion if we like this idea or not. So always do your research. Always talk to professionals before you go ahead and say, hey, this sounds great. I want to do it.
Yeah.
So, and there's always fees involved, and there's always, you know, really specific details about any agreement. So please do your research. Call us, talk to us. We're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to ask us anything that you want. So I'll give you a good example of an assignment in Ontario. Generally speaking, somebody who buys a new condo. So
Mhm.
let's say, and this happens all the time, really. Let's say I'm the investor, I buy a condo, and today's market says the condo is worth 500,000. The condo is not going to be ready till 3 years from now. Generally speaking, I know the market will grow, and in 3 years from now, or 5 years from now, whatever that time it takes to build the condo, the property will just be more valuable. So, you know, again, you hope that the market continues to go up. It's
Yeah.
never a guarantee. It's a little bit different in the States as well, depending on where you are as well. The growth is very different in the US than it is in Canada. So these are all the factors that you have to think about.
Yeah.
So let's just say here's a condo. I bought it, what did I say, for 500?
Mm-hmm.
I bought it for $500,000. I've been making my payments like the builder suggests, or in the agreement says you must, you know, every whatever few months at this stage you have to make your payments. I'm making all that payments, but at the end of the day, when I can take possession,
Yeah.
I don't want to close. I don't want to be the the actual owner of the property. So now in my initial paperwork, I have an assignment clause that says the builder is allowing me to do that at any step.
Yeah.
So let's say I lose my job, I can't afford the payments the builder's asking me to do, maybe at the 3 year mark, what do? I have to do my research, I talk to my realtor and say, how much can I sell this property for? What's the market like now? And hopefully the market has grown even in the 3 years to say, now it's worth, let's say, 550. So, you know, put it on the market. I can put it on MLS. I can call it an assignment sale. And that means whoever buys it will agree to a purchase price. That also means they are responsible for paying the HST at the end of the purchase price, at the end of the agreement of what you agreed to with the lawyer. And generally speaking, you are assuming
Mm-hmm.
paperwork that you agreed to initially when you bought it from the condo, plus whatever fee you are asking that goes into your pocket as the first buyer. Happens all the time, happens multiple times. The initial agreement between you and the builder is the most important, because if that assignment clause is not in there, nothing you can do.
Can't do it. So what I recommend in this case, whether you're thinking about doing the assignment or not, if it is given to you, I will take it all day long, because you don't know what is going to happen in 3 years, 4 years, sometimes 5 years. You may change your mind. Like Colette said, you may
Yeah,
not have a job and you may not be able to qualify. So you have that option to get out of it, maybe make a little bit of money and then
right.
get out clean. Otherwise, then you're going to be sued by the builder because you weren't able to close, and you don't want that. So to me, it's kind of like a fail-safe kind of thing that you can add. If it doesn't cost you anything, just put it in the paperwork. It's there. If you don't use it, then it's okay.
Absolutely. I love that. You have to put it in. Even if you have no intention of assigning it, as
Yeah.
long as it's in there, exactly like you said, it's my safety net. If whatever happens within that time frame, even if the builder, let's say, pushes, I need to move by whatever
Yeah.
January in 5 years from now. I know my lease is up. I know they're going to tear down my house, whatever it is. I need to be out. And then if the builder extends the purchase, sorry, the time that it's going to, you know, it's not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing too, that builders usually put a clause in for them to say, hey, if we can't get supplies, you know, during COVID, they couldn't get certain supplies. They couldn't hit that deadline of move-in date or closing date. So builders are notorious for pushing it out, pushing it out, pushing it out. And then when you finally can take possession, it might be too late. Your life might have changed. You might want to run off to Africa. Like, who knows? So that's always a nice little secret clause that you can, it's really not a secret.
Exactly.
It's a nice clause to keep you safe as a purchaser.
Yeah, exactly. And now, as investors, like seasoned investors, when I buy something, I always buy it on my company's name, and I put it and or assigned, because
Right.
I might be able to do a JV, which is a joint venture
Sure.
partnership. That means that I can add somebody to the title,
Right.
or I can give it to somebody else if I decide not to purchase it and rehab it myself. So
Right.
that is also a good one to do.
Right. And the nice thing about this wholesaler assignment, you never take title. So when you pick up the phone to talk to your accountant to say, "Hey, I don't need to pay capital gains on this property because I never took title." So it might look a little bit different if you do it through a corporation. Again, talk to your accountant. What's the best way to do it? There are all these professionals that are waiting for you to call them to say, "Hey, I'm interested in doing this. How do I do it? What's the best way to do it? Please
Yeah.
support me. Please help me."
And remember to check on your province or your state, what is the format, how does it look like for you to be able to do this kind of transaction. The paperwork might look different, they may be called differently, but we're just giving you kind of like the nuts and bolts and how it works. Another thing that I want to kind of clarify is that most people out there, they really want to get started in wholesaling because you don't need a lot of money. You can get started there. However, I'm going to tell you this, it is possible, but it is not very likely that you get started there unless you're already a real estate professional in
Yeah,
some way,
yeah,
right?
you already have this behind you under your belt.
Because there's so many moving parts in this thing, and you have to have so many things put together at the same time that somebody that is brand new is not going to be able to do it quickly enough, right? So you're going to have the knowledge of the area
Right.
to see what it actually a good deal is,
Yeah.
what it requires to be rehabbed if you're going to
Fix it up.
bring
Yeah.
it back to life, right? And then how to sell it to somebody
Yeah.
that is in that business. So there's so many things going on that if you are brand new, I truly recommend that you get started in some capacity in real estate, whether it's becoming a realtor, a mortgage broker, somebody in the trades, right? So you need to be involved in order for you to learn the ropes, right? Like what it does it take.
You don't have to go it alone.
Exactly.
We are here. You have two perfect examples of people that went, "Oh my God, let's go and do this," on our own, and we went ahead and kind of jumped in. And honestly, how much research you do is one thing, but if you have people supporting you through the process or before you even jump to say these are the numbers, this is the
Yeah.
paperwork, you're as safe as you can be.
Yeah.
There's lots of risks.
And it's just gonna, the only thing that it does, especially if you work with somebody that has already done it, it's gonna shorten the learning curve. There is
Exactly.
always a learning curve no matter what you're doing. So if you want to do it a little bit faster, is the best and safest way for you to do it because somebody's already done it, they know the area, they know the numbers, and they can walk you through.
Yeah.
So that's all we have for today. So remember, if you hear the words wholesaling, assignment, or microflipping, they all mean the same thing. That means you're buying a property for a lower price. You're gonna charge a fee to sell it to an investor that is going to take possession of the property, and you're gonna make that difference. So that's it. So there you have it. Remember to check your local laws and see what you can do and how you can do it in your own area.
Legally.
Yeah, legally.
Yeah, that last word.
Yeah.
Do it legally. Yeah.
And thank you, Colette, for being here, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.